You spend your whole life climbing the mountain, assuming there is peace at the summit. But when you finally arrive, the crowd leaves, the noise stops, and you are just standing there alone. Kurt Cobain reached the absolute pinnacle of musical success, yet his journals are filled with a desperate search for authenticity and a suffocating alienation. Marilyn Monroe was adored by millions. Every flashbulb captured a smile, but she famously documented an inner void that no amount of attention could fill. Elvis Presley faced the exact same ghost, the undisputed king of rock and roll, completely isolated by the very fame he built. These lives suggest a terrifying reality. Success is an amplifier, not a cure. If a soul is inherently starving, putting it in front of a screaming stadium simply makes that starvation louder. You have likely felt a smaller version of this. It is that strange, quiet emptiness that hits 48 hours after getting a promotion, buying the new car, or finally securing the relationship. This chart models what psychologists call hedonic adaptation. When you achieve a goal, you get a sharp upward spike in dopamine, but within days, the line plummets below your original baseline. You now require a higher spike next time just to feel normal. This manuscript contains a 1,400-year-old text that identifies this exact modern psychological phenomenon. The verse states, "Whoever turns away from my remembrance will have a constricted life." The text identifies a constricted life. It bypasses warnings of poverty or pain to describe this specific internal pressure. This physical sensation of a tight chest defines constriction. It reveals a misalignment of human purpose that persists regardless of worldly wealth. The modern world treats human beings as strictly biological machines. But Islamic tradition argues you possess a pre-installed spiritual DNA. This internal compass is called the fitra. It is an innate recognition of and longing for your creator, existing long before anyone teaches you a single word. Trying to satisfy this specific metaphysical hunger with material things is the exact equivalent of trying to quench a physical thirst by eating sand. When you feel anxious, restless, or empty, your internal alarm is going off. Your compass is spinning frantically, unable to lock on to true north. This specific emptiness confirms the internal alarm system is functioning correctly. It is the weight of a soul that has become homesick. Instead of seeking a cure for this homesickness, modern society trains you to run from it. We drown out the internal alarm with endless scrolling, with hyper-consumerism and intoxicating substances. We hide behind socially acceptable distractions. We chase status and we work 80 hours a week to avoid sitting quietly with our own thoughts. For a brief moment, the illusion works. The sheer volume of noise successfully drowns out the existential questions. But the root starvation remains completely unaddressed. The hunger always returns, and it requires a larger dose of distraction to achieve the exact same effect. The Quran warns of a terrifying concept. Rather, what they used to do has rusted upon their hearts. Every compromise in buried truth adds a layer of blockage. Eventually, the pain stops entirely, not because the soul is healed, but because the alarm is broken. Confusing this deadened emotional numbness with actual peace is the most dangerous trap of modern success. The emptiness you are desperately running from is actually a mercy. It is your soul attempting to guide you back to reality. Your search for meaning was never wrong. The mistake was looking for an infinite answer in finite material destinations. The antidote is a concept called tauba. People often translate this as repentance, imagining a criminal begging for forgiveness. The literal translation is much simpler. It means return. The action required takes courage. Stop running, turn off the screens, sit in the silence, and honestly face the truth you have been avoiding. True exhaustion comes from the immense effort of pretending to be merely a consumer. Relief begins the moment you surrender to being a soul. The modern world tells you to acquire more to fill the void. The spiritual truth tells you to return to the source. No amount of worldly success, fame, or pleasure will ever satisfy the fitra's inherent longing for its creator. The search only ends when the heart remembers Allah. True alignment with the Creator skips the dopamine spike of fleeting excitement. It delivers absolute, enduring rest.